This offseason is finally over. We have players reporting to spring training, and now we can look back and see 3 things that this offseason tells us about how organizations are operating and how they're building their teams. First is that big contracts are not going anywhere in free agency anytime soon. I'm talking $100 million plus. The top guys in free agency, teams are still willing to spend big now to get those guys on their team, and they'll figure it out later. Aaron Judge, who signed through age 39 at $40 million. Trey Turner, who signed through age 40 at $27.27. Bogarts, who signed through age 40 at $25.45 million. DeGrom, who signed through his age 39 season at $37 million. And even Brandon Nimmo signed through his age 37 season at $20.25 million. None of these guys are going to be worth it once they get later in their careers, and especially these guys like Turner and Bogarts and Nimmo, they're not going to be able to stick at these premier defensive positions. And there's already reports that Judge was taking reps over at first base and stuff. Man, at that point, if he just can't play the outfield anymore when he's like 39, just have him DH. There were some smarter moves in regards to this though. Correa signed through his age 34 season at $33.33 million, and the Twins handled this pretty perfectly given the fact that his ankle might just explode randomly apparently. Correa has vesting options at the end of this deal, so if he stays on the field, stays healthy, those will probably kick in, and now the Twins just get to keep one of the better players in the league. If he can't stay healthy, those options don't vest, and you just let him go. Dansby Swanson's only signed through his age 35 season at $25.29 million. He's mainly defense over there at short. You hope that the bat stays at the productivity that it was this last year, or ideally gets better, and then this deal could be an absolute steal for them. But you really only signed him through his defensive prime when he's mainly a defensive shortstop. Rodon was only signed through his age 35 season. He's had injuries earlier in his career and really only bloomed over the last couple of seasons into the guy that he is now. You also have Diaz signed through his age 33 season because he's a closer. Bullpen guys are so volatile. Just look at Josh Hader over the last year or two. You're not going to pay all that much money for a guy that you're only using for 1 inning every couple games or so. If you're enjoying the content so far, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the page so that you don't miss out on any other content like this. Now let's get into our second thing, and that is, what did teams value the most in free agency? When you look at what the market dictated, starting pitching was hands down the most valuable thing on the free agent market. 7 starting pitchers in the top 20 guys of AAV, $185.98 million in 2023. That's the highest of any position. Of the top 4 starting pitchers that were signed, Verlander, DeGrom, Rodon, and of all guys, Chris Bassett, the $128.33 million those guys on average will make in 2023 is more than the top 4 shortstops are going to get. Correa, Turner, Bogarts, and Swanson are going to make $111.34 million. Rodon and Turner are both roughly getting paid $27 million. Turner obviously is getting paid over a longer period. The Phillies trust him more with that kind of money over a long period than the Yankees are trusting Rodon with that. But to say that they're relatively close to each other in value, or at least you could say he's close to Bogarts and Swanson, who are getting $25 million. Swanson on a very similar length deal. And you have Chris Bassett, who is at the end of this, that's making $21 million a year. Not that far away from what Bogarts and Swanson are getting. Teams are really valuing starting pitching and willing to pay for it on the free agent market. The last thing that we can see is what the trades this offseason tell us about how teams are building themselves in the offseason. When you're trading in the offseason, it's not the top guys. I mean, Sean Murphy got traded. He was about the only guy that you could say is near the top at his position that was traded this year, and that's because Oakland is Oakland. The trades that were getting made in this offseason are basically teams trading a surplus that they have and prospects to fill big needs on their roster. Basically, hey, I have a lot of pitching, you have a lot of hitting. Why don't we switch the two and help each other out? You have teams like Toronto, who had a bunch of outfield offense and catching and needed outfield defense and bullpen. So that's what they swapped. Seattle had bullpen guys and a couple guys that just didn't really work out. So they swapped that out and filled their needs of getting an outfielder and a second baseman. Miami, the fish with arms, traded for a bat, and they traded one of those arms to Minnesota, who needed it, and sent out one of the bats in Arias, a first second base tweener. He basically hits like a second baseman, but should be playing first base. They could get rid of him, not take a huge hit to their offense, and get in one of these arms that they absolutely needed. Arizona has a ton of young outfielders. They could trade them away. They really needed a catcher, so that's what they got in return. As a bonus here, you also can see that it's pretty clear and obvious that the teams that are looking to rebuild, teams like Detroit, Oakland, I guess Milwaukee, based on what they did this offseason, they're looking for younger, team controllable guys. They'll take the risk that they don't quite live up to their full potential to have them under control for a while if they do. Whereas the contending teams, they want certainty. It doesn't matter whether you're getting an everyday kind of guy, a role guy. These teams want the certainty of knowing what kind of a player they're getting to fill a specific role that they need filled to compete better. Guys like Colton Wong, Renfroe, Hernandez, Lopez, are they world beaters by any sense? No. But are they going to fill a significant role for a team? And does that team know roughly what they're going to be getting in these players? Absolutely, and that's what they're willing to pay for. Comment your thoughts down below about the offseason, anything that you learned, anything you noticed. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. You can go ahead and subscribe to the page by clicking right here. Check out some of the other videos on this channel. You've got the video YouTube recommends for you, my most recent upload. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. I'll see you in the next one.